My name is Dave Isbitski. I'm a developer evangelist for Amazon. So basically, my role is I talk about our developer services. I help developers with our services and getting apps and games on our app store and also on Amazon.com. So this is not a developer talk. I did a developer talk earlier today. This will be based on where we are time-wise. 20, 25 minutes really about some of the things Amazon's doing. I think that'll be interesting to you around both ads, but also around selling physical goods through digital goods. So how can I combine, if I'm selling things on Amazon, how can I combine that with an app? Okay, so this is all my contact info. If you ever have any questions, that's our blog. And if anyone's on Twitter, that's my Twitter stuff. So let's talk about Amazon and mobile. If anybody here has an iPad, a Kindle, or smartphone, you've probably seen some of our mobile apps. Kindle, Audible. These are all Amazon companies, so IMDb, the Amazon Local, Zappos, right? And one of the things, Amazon, we strive to be the world's most customer-centric company. And Amazon.com, we want to be the place where you come for all of your physical goods, but also all of your digital goods. So when you think about the things that you purchase today, apps and games, whether it's on a smartphone or a tablet, is probably something that you're doing a lot of. And so really, all of these developer services, everything that Amazon is doing is looking at the people who write these apps and games as customers too, and making their lives easier regardless of what platform they're on. And so in a nutshell, the entire Amazon app experience is about that. So whether somebody's targeting an iPad, a Kindle, Android, we have tools, and all our tools are free to make it better. So as customers, you see more and more apps in the ecosystem. Okay? And so one of the things we introduced recently was something called Amazon Mobile Associates. Is anybody here familiar with Amazon Associates today from the web? And it's been around for a while. Basically, you have a link. So let's say you have a website or a blog. You can put a link up there, and when someone clicks on your link, they're redirected to us, and you can get up to 6% of what they buy through that link. All right? And it's a great way today to monetize websites, and we wanted to bring that capability into mobile apps. Mobile apps today, you kind of see the model where it's paid or it's free. And if it's free, I'm either going to deliver ads to you, or I'm going to do something where I'm asking you to do what's called an in-app purchase. So you get the game for free, but you're playing it, and I ask you to buy for 99 cents the next level or something. You've probably all seen that model. So what the Mobile Associates model is going to do is it gives developers of these apps and games the chance, rather than asking you to pay for things in the game or showing you an ad, it's going to give you the ability to purchase physical goods from right inside the app using your Amazon account. And so these are some of the benefits that we give people that are using the API. So I'll give you a scenario. Let's say today I have a bunch of t-shirts that I'm selling on Amazon.com, and they're $20 US. I could develop an app, and for people who have purchased my app, so now they're a customer of my digital goods, I do 50% off. So through my app, you get my t-shirts on Amazon.com at a discount. Right? And everybody wins, because as a customer now, you're able to get more physical products for cheaper. The developer has gotten their app in front of more people by making that app available and actually, rather than charging a high price, put it at a discount because they make money through the physical goods. Does that make sense, kind of the scenario? So it's really combining the physical and the digital goods space. I'll give you another example. There's a publisher called Gameloft, which makes a lot of popular games across all of the different app stores. And I know this because I have 2 little girls at home. There's a My Little Pony app. And in the My Little Pony app, there's in-game currency. And in the game, you can buy My Little Pony merchandise off Amazon, and as a reward, you get in-game currency. I think they're like gems or diamonds. So rather than spending money, you're earning that currency by buying physical goods. Another example, there's a game out there called Air Patriots. That's from Amazon Studios that runs on iPads and Kindles. You can buy t-shirts for the game for only $10 through the app. You just hit the icon, you get the checkout experience, and now you have a t-shirt. So there's lots of scenarios back and forth. Yes?
Does it also work with third-party apps that are redirecting people to purchase Not their items on Amazon, but other items.
Right, great question. The question was, does it work with third-party items? And the answer is yes. It even works outside of Amazon's App Store, so it'll work on Google Play, for example. We have two areas, and I'm going to jump into it. One's called link service, where you're linking to anything, and one's called shopping service, which are very specific items that you're selling.
Are you
Good.
interested, like, is the app owner the same as the t-shirt seller?
Great question. So are the owners, and the way I would phrase that is the owner of the digital goods the same as the owner of the physical goods? And the answer is they can be. You could be on the physical side at Amazon, you're called an Amazon seller. So you're part of the Amazon Sellers program, but you don't have to be. You could be part of the developer program and you're pointing to somebody else's merchandise. You can also point to categories. So I could say kids' toys, and it'll do a search on Amazon, and then if anyone buys any of that, you'll get part of that revenue.
Not through the
Through Amazon. Correct. Yep. And all the physical goods, and that's a great point, all the physical goods are you're being directed to Amazon.com. So purchases are through Amazon.com, not to any other resellers, online resellers. So here's some other ideas, right? So you're going to drive further engagement. You can create an in-app shop. So for example, if I want to go ahead and have an art store, and this is one of the examples we provide to people who are writing these apps, and I have a drawing app, but I also want to teach people how to draw for real, I can give a discount on art supplies by clicking different links. So you can buy an easel, you can buy paint, pens, things like that. But it's really, gets back to that first slide of connecting that physical world with digital goods. And that's one of the things, go ahead.
What if it's on the iOS platform and you've got it in the App Store?
So currently today, the Mobile Associates, the question was, what if it's on iOS? Currently today, Mobile Associates is only available for Android and Kindle devices. But a lot of our developer services do work on iOS, so that's not to say that that's not going to come at some point in the future, and we have had requests from developers for that as well. What was one of the scenarios I was going to point out? Here's an example of the Air Patriots. Everybody see the t-shirt at the bottom? So I hit that, and up here pops the t-shirt on the right, and I'm physically buying. I remember what I was going to say. That linking of the physical and the digital world is something that we also do across apps. So for example, I've personally written a World of Warcraft kind of companion app, which is this online game that people can get. If you're on Amazon.com and you've bought World of Warcraft novels or maybe the games, the recommendation, we recommend apps now. So you're going to see digital goods getting recommended based on your physical purchase from Amazon as well.
Works both ways.
Yes. So we're kind of combining the worlds, and now you're seeing those worlds getting combined in apps as well. So, some of the benefits, you're going to learn more about a product through the app, so you're not limited just to a website experience. So I'll give you an example. One of the apps, and I don't want to name any specific publisher names, but one of the apps, you're actually going through and you're learning the story of the character, and you're kind of building a relationship, and at the end, you can buy a stuffed animal of that character, right? So telling that story, and it's a child's app too. So just pointing and putting that stuffed animal up on Amazon.com is an entirely different experience than my child just went through a game with that and now they want to buy that physical product. So it gives you the ability to kind of market and do it that way.
So are you saying that you get rewarded by the time you finish the game with the stuffed animal, or do you have to go and get, and buy it basically?
Right. It's a publisher that at the end of the game gives you the option to buy that character as a physical product on Amazon at a discount too. So it is a reward, but it's also an example of how do you make that you're making that marketing connection to that character by telling a story versus it just being a page on Amazon.com that's in another product listing, right? This is also complementary. So we don't require that you only use Mobile Associates, so people can put ads in, they can do in-app purchases, so you can have the ability for people to buy things digitally in your game still, as well as physical goods. So it's not an and or an or. And it's a wide reach, so it's the Amazon App Store and Google Play. Make sense?
Only games?
Games or apps. I say games because games across all app stores right now are the largest portion of downloads. Somewhere where 60 to 70% are people are, they're playing their Candy Crushes and their Angry Birds, right? Those type of things. But it's not limited in any way to just games. It's anything mobile, any kind of mobile app.
And is that commission, is that published? It's up to 6%, what's the range?
Yes, it depends on the item type and the way that the person came on, and it's very similar to the Associates program for the web. So if you go to the URL that I had on the screen at the top, you'll be able to get full details on the specifics for that. And it's a detailed list. It'll tell you everything.
And you'll give that to us again, right?
Yeah, it's developer.amazon.com, and you'll see all that. Yep, developer.amazon.com.
Is the commission, I think you said something about for advertising, or is it money that you're giving?
The commission for mobile associates is money, so it'll get deposited in your account, just like the associates program today. Ads are a little bit different, and I'll jump into that in a second. Okay, so the first type of service is the link service. And so this is a demo that I showed earlier today in the developer track. So this is an actual running app. And this is just showing examples. Basically, I had a list where you would click the list and it would open a web browser. So over here, this is the first option where you can say link to the Amazon.com homepage. So in the mobile app, it's just going to open a browser and I'm on Amazon.com. And that's perfectly acceptable. You can do just that. You can have an Amazon logo and you're linking to the homepage. The second one is a product search. So if you see here, I'm typing in Snake Arcade Game. And so if you go out to Amazon today and you type Snake Arcade Game, you will see these same exact products. So any search that you can think of, you can actually do a search link service to Amazon. So when I talked about children's toys, you could do a specific search for toys or movies or any product that you can think of. And then you can also link directly to a product, and that product's identifier is something we call an ASIN. So when you're on Amazon today, and let me switch over. If we still have Wi-Fi. No, we do not have Wi-Fi. So we will switch. Everybody I know is sure the Wi-Fi pains. But basically, when you go to Amazon, you can do this tonight, and you look up at the top, you're going to see a number. Okay, you see like the forward slashes, and then you see number. That number is the unique identifier of that product. So any of those numbers you can think of, you can link to. And it'll go direct to the product page like you see here. Now there's a second service called a shopping service. Now the shopping service is a lot more powerful, but it requires some additional work in that it's up to you to build the UI around that. So you decide which products you want to show and how you want to show it. It could be another screen in the app. It could be as simple as the icon you saw at the button for the t-shirt. And then you list the products that you want to sell. So in this demo that I wrote, this is the art store example I mentioned, but I've replaced it with our snake game. Everybody see that there? So in this shopping service, if I click the button to buy, I'm going to get the list of prices. So that's pulling the current price from Amazon.com. I click on that, and I get this in-app experience. And see how that product page looks exactly like the product page that you saw on Amazon.com. But when I hit Buy Now, it's actually going to purchase from inside the app without ever leaving the app. And then I'm going to have that item shipped to me from Amazon.
You're kind of self-branded inside.
Yes, it's up to you entirely how you want to do. That's what's great. If there's a bunch of products you want to sell, you have complete control over that experience. The only thing we brand is the Amazon shopping experience itself, which is the same shopping experience that customers get on the web.
Then the person cannot go into a search exploration mode.
Correct.
And get out of it.
Yep, it's just that particular item. Yeah, and in fact, this is what's called the full details page. You can even do smaller ones where it's just a hover of an item, and then you can have the buy button there. So it's up to you how much information that you want to list, but it's completely within your app versus leaving your app and going to the mobile website.
As you would with the link service.
Yes. Yep, correct. And it's the option to do either or. This doesn't pertain too much from the marketing side, but this is good knowledge to know that from a developer side, there's complete tooling around this. So you can simulate a user being logged in or out of Amazon. You can simulate multiple users. You can simulate the product not being in stock. You can track receipts for purchases. So all of that is simulated at development time. So we're not requiring you to make physical purchases on Amazon while you're actually setting this app up. It'll simulate the environment completely. Does that make sense? Okay, excellent. So the second piece I wanted to talk about a little bit is our mobile ad network. And one of the things we're doing around marketing from a mobile ad network now is we have this program called Developer Select. So if apps and games meets certain criteria and everybody's eligible, it's up to them to meet that criteria. For example, having nice HD graphics and implementing certain APIs. We promote apps now through our ad network. So if you're using an app from the Amazon App Store on your Kindle, you may have already started to see that. For apps you may have not noticed before, there's an actual ad. And the developer didn't have to pay for that. We're promoting them now through our ad network. And it's a great way to get free marketing just by targeting the latest APIs and the latest Kindle devices. And that's why I wanted to pull up the ad network. These are some numbers I got from the ad team. We don't give out exact numbers, so I'm using percentages here. Right, so this is just the growth to show you how much in payments we've been doing between 7 months ago and now in our ad network, as well as the amount of adoption we've seen from developers in the ad network. Right, and developers are going to flock to ad networks that are giving them good eCPM. Is a number, if anybody doesn't know what eCPM is, we have a very high eCPM on the Amazon ad network. And so ads are relevant to all app categories. You can kind of see here. These are some examples of what the Amazon ads look like. They can be mixed with other ads. So up on developer.amazon.com, I've written some examples of mixing them with Google's ad network, with mobile AdMob. You can use literally any kind of mediation network. We're not forcing people to do that. But this is just some developer stories around the ad network. And so you're seeing now, to get back to that original slide, the marketing of physical and digital goods. You're seeing now in the ads physical and digital goods. So I may get jewelry, I may get an ad for a cable, and then I may get an ad for an app. And all of that I can purchase by going back to Amazon.com. Make sense? Okay. There's 3 more services that tie into this. One of the things we've seen that can help market apps greatly is price drops. And so in the past, people who created apps and games had to contact us to do a price drop. Now, as of a couple weeks ago, we've implemented a console that at any time they can run their own promotions. So, Christmas and New Year's is coming up. I could say, you know what, 50% all of my apps for just today. And it could be literally a day, or you could run it for the entire month. And then in addition to that, you can run it on in-app items. So if has anybody here played Candy Crush or a similar game, you get like lollipops and you can break the candies, right? You could discount that. So if you have a similar game as a developer, you could say, you know what, today's Friday, every Friday I'm going to discount this in-app item. And we've seen that gives a lot of movement in what people are willing to pay because they're getting it at a discount. So that's one of the services. Another way that we market apps and games through our store is something called Amazon Coins. And we just announced you can actually gift Amazon Coins now. So Amazon Coins are rewards for Amazon customers for when they're when they're buying and purchasing digital goods. So if you're looking at the Amazon store today, if you've got a Kindle, you've probably seen this. You go to download a game or an app, and it says you get 30 coins for this purchase. And those coins then, when you go to purchase another app, it'll say, do you want to use your Amazon Coins? Everybody who buys one of the new Kindles we're giving coins to as well. So now they have these coins, so it's basically free currency to go out and buy more apps and games and more in-app purchases. So it's a reward system that we can give out and we can incentivize for specific apps that people get rewarded for purchasing those apps or those items. And it's this nice digital currency now that you'll find throughout the site. And then Amazon Developer Select. This is the program I talked about where we put folks into our ad network. We also highlight them on Amazon.com. And we have cloud services called AWS, which you may have heard of. We give free compute hours, which is very big for people who are writing apps and games. That can be a cost that is going to save them a lot by giving them free hours for compute time. Every app and game is eligible for this. We don't exclude anybody. It's up to them of what they want to implement, and then they're in the Developer Select program. Make sense? All right, we finished right on time too. So there's the URL. There's all of my contact information. Hopefully in the past couple of minutes, you've seen some of the things we're doing to help market both digital and physical goods through our app store, and then on devices, and then back to the actual website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can the Amazon coins be used to buy anything on Amazon, or are they only for the digital?
Right now, it's only digital goods, yeah. So you'll actually see on the purchase, it'll highlight coins by default for you instead of money. So if we know you have coins, we'll select it so you're not using your own money first. Kind of like how we do with, if you've got gift card credits, we'll always use that first for you. It's the same thing. So if you're buying an app or game, you'll see the coins.
On books too?
No physical goods. Right now, it's just for apps and games. Mobile apps and games, yeah.
Digital books.
Yeah, it's not in that yet. Yeah. But I love where all your heads are going.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many gamers there are in this room, but I think
Right.
once your hair starts getting a certain level of gray, I don't know if games are.
Oh, yeah.
Who does play? I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
I just have no time to game.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is the shopping service, is that considered something more value added than the commission then would be lower than it would be in the normal Amazon affiliate?
No, we offer up to the same percentage as the normal. So we do offer up to the full 6%, which is the same on the Amazon Associates side, yeah. And they are mutually exclusive, so you can do both. We don't, you can have it both on websites and blogs, and then you can put it in your apps, and they're two separate accounts. We're not forcing you to do anything a specific way.
So Associates is not apps. Can you just-
Right, Mobile Associates
Yeah.
is for mobile apps,
Yeah.
and then the regular Associates program is what's already been in existence. It's been out there, gosh, over a decade. Like you've probably seen it on websites and blogs. Yep.
Okay, maybe a question.
Yeah.
So in my environment, we're talking about mobile web apps, not native.
Right.
HTML5, screen painting.
Yep.
Obviously, in that case, I must use the link.
Right. Well, what's very interesting, since you dove into that space, is we now offer something called web apps for Amazon, where if you've got an HTML5 web app site today that's targeting mobile devices, you point to that website and we wrap it in what we call an Amazon Web View, and you can sell that as an app in our app store, and we enable in-app purchases, so you can monetize to Amazon customers with the Amazon checkout experience your site as an app.
How do you get to that?
When you go to this same link, you're going to see web apps up there, and I've got tutorials and stuff on
So
it.
if I may follow up then, that's that case, and I have to go into that. But the placement of an Amazon ad and a footer,
Yep.
can we do that in a web app?
No, today it's part of Android. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Thank you.